Hi all, I'm Sanya. I live and work in England. I'm a law graduate and an experienced HR professional. For this video today, I would like to take you through 5 routes and 5 ways to get into human resources or HR. I have also included towards the end a really brief overview of the HR structure you can find in most organizations, and also included timestamps if you want to skip some parts. We are good to go. One route is to study for an HR degree, ideally with a sandwich year or sandwich course offered. So this means as part of your degree, HR degree, you will be required to do a 1-year work experience in industry, which normally takes part as part of your year 3 studies. Upon completion of this experience, you then return to university when you formally continue with your year 4 studies and eventually graduate. Another way is to study for a business degree, but you select a couple of HR modules, which also shows you are keen and interested to learn a bit more about the subject, and that could be another way as to how you can get a 1-year work experience / HR placement. So my suggestion is, when you are applying to universities, always double check if their courses offer a sandwich year or a sandwich course as part of your studies, because practical experience is really important and it's going to look great on your CV. Many organizations advertise for a 1-year work experience in industry, as I already mentioned, and upon completion of that, you return to university to continue with your studies, as I already mentioned. And during that period, during your year 4 studies, please remain in contact with the relevant organization to build those relationships, for you to demonstrate you're still interested in working for them, because nearer the time as to when you're about to graduate, I suggest you reach out to them, inquire about permanent HR opportunities when they're about to advertise, so you know when you need to apply. And this is hopefully one of the ways as to how you can secure a permanent role in HR. Another way to get into HR is through HR apprenticeship route. So this means that your employing organization will give you practical work experience and also pay for your HR courses, normally CIPD courses as we call them here in the UK. CIPD stands for Chartered Institute for Personal Development. You can check out their website for more information as to what kind of courses they offer. But organizations that offer HR apprenticeship route normally say something along the lines on their advert that they would pay and fund for your HR courses, which is absolutely a fantastic offer. And another amazing opportunity with this route is that upon completion of your HR apprenticeship route and experience, you are very likely to be offered a permanent or substantive role in HR, which is just a fantastic bonus at the end. Another route is to apply directly for an HR graduate scheme, and some organizations that offer these type of schemes as in graduate schemes, and if it's advertised as an HR graduate scheme, may for example require you to hold an HR degree, or sometimes in most examples that I have seen, they say any degree, you can apply with any degree, and then you follow a rigorous assessment process should you be shortlisted. So always make sure that you follow closely their instructions and expectations during this assessment for you to maximize opportunities to be offered a place on the graduate scheme, because that's another fantastic opportunity for you to learn and gain that experience on the job. Another way to get into HR is direct entry, as I call it. You see an HR role and you decide to apply for the same. And this is pretty much my example. I had a career change from law to HR, and I've directly applied for some HR roles, and eventually I was successful for one, and that was my way to get into HR and continue with my own HR career progression in HR, which was good option. And certainly, you can also consider it. You don't have to have often relevant work experience, because some of the roles you can certainly consider are HR assistants, HR administrators, HR associate, HR advisors type roles. So some roles, some work experience certainly can give you that transferable skill set that I often talk about. So check those out as well and see whether you can tweak and tailor your CV to that. I would also like to add that CIPD qualifications or HR qualifications offered by CIPD but delivered by many approved training providers sometimes can be labeled as desirable or optional to have when it comes to applying for certain jobs. So make sure you always double check relevant job adverts. And in my experience, most organizations tend to value experience over these qualifications. So make sure you check those out. I think it shows great interest and it's positive to have HR qualifications on your CV. But if you do not have those, I would not be as concerned, because sometimes showing the right attitude or an interest or desire to work in HR counts just as much. And when you start in HR, certainly explore options with your current organization, whether they would be happy to fund for your HR courses. And that's another way to actually get to learn on the job, get experience, but also for the organization to pay for these courses. Another way to get into HR is an internal career change. And this is pretty much typical when it comes to working for big and large organizations. The larger organization, the bigger opportunities, you have to move on a lateral move basis and certainly have that career change a lot easier. So what this means, you may join to work in a business in a particular department, let's say in finance or compliance or any other department, but you become keen to work in HR because there is a big HR team and you absolutely love what they do and you want to be part of that as well. So one way to get into HR is through your internal lateral move career option. My suggestion is to make sure you discuss this with your line manager, that you are interested in this career transition so that they're aware of it. Also make sure you reach out to your internal HR colleagues for support and advice, because they're very likely to help you. Seek and ask for an HR mentor, ask for shadowing, and if there is an internal secondment opportunity, and this pretty much means opportunities are advertised internally only in a particular organization for about 6 to 12 months time. So make sure you check those out, because that's a fantastic way to get into HR, and these opportunities are available most of the time for internal candidates as opposed to external candidates, because most organizations have their own talent programs, normally branded as Grow Our Own Talent, which means they're heavily investing in existing internal workforce. So if you already work for a big and large organization where there is a big HR team and you really like what they do, you can check it out and certainly very likely successfully move to HR. As you can see, it is not that difficult to get into HR with some decent planning and thinking and reaching out to people to help you and support you. I'm sure that this is pretty much realistic for most people. I would also like to share with you, just really briefly, an overview of HR roles you can see in any or most HR departments from time to time. So therefore, some of the roles or entry roles are HR administrator, HR assistant, HR advisor, HR manager, HR business partner, senior HR business partner, deputy department head or a head of HR or assistant director of HR, and then HR director. I will do a separate video about the detail of these roles, what they mean, skill set we can develop in each, and how we can use those to have that career progression if that's something we are interested in from time to time. I really hope this paints a picture as to how you can get into HR and gives you some food for thought as to what you need to put in place. I don't think you're ever too late, or you should never feel you've missed the boat. There are so many opportunities as to how you can do this, and let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer, and hopefully see you in the next video.